Hello and good evening, students. Today I am back on Pol.Science Paradigm channel, and there is a request to you all. Please go and subscribe the Pol.Science Paradigm. Okay, this is a YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe. Subscription is very important for this channel to survive. Okay, otherwise it will be very difficult to survive this channel, and at the same time you will lack concepts that I'm trying to develop on this channel, right? So let's subscribe it and then we'll move to explain today's agenda, right? So basically what I'm trying to say is कि जब हम classes engage करते हैं तो I have found that people do not understand these things individually. ठीक है, इसको इंटरचेंजेबली यूज़ कर देते हैं, कंट्री स्टेट नेशन नेशन स्टेट, है ना? जब मन जहाँ मन जैसे यूज़ करके आगे बढ़ जाते हैं, अंडरस्टैंड। और उनके पास ये क्लियर डिस्टिंक्शन नहीं पता है, क्लियर आइडेंटिफिकेशन इन तीनों चारों कॉन्सेप्ट्स का नहीं है। इसके कारण से होता क्या है कि आप लैक करते हैं वेल राइटिंग आंसर्स, एंड दिस गिव्स अ वेरी बैड यू नो motive about the students कि दिस इज़ एक्चुअली वेरी बेसिक, है ना? और बहुत को पता भी होगा, बट आई एम ट्राइंग टू address it once and for all so that you get to understand what is it. So what is country, what is state, what is nation and what is nation state? अगर एक ही होता तो हम कुछ कोई एक यूज़ कर लिए होते, हम लोग मल्टीपल क्यों यूज़ करते हैं? इसका मतलब है कि कुछ अंतर होगा, है ना? कुछ अलग होगा। तो वही अंतर को समझने की कोशिश करेंगे आज। सो बेसिकली ये जो कंट्री है, दिस कंट्री इज अ ज्योग्राफिकल यूनिट। फर्स्ट इसको हम समझ लेते हैं, फिर आगे बढ़ेंगे। स्टेट क्या है? एक पॉलिटिकल यूनिट है। व्हाट इज नेशन? नेशन इज अ कल्चरल यूनिट। एंड व्हाट इज नेशन स्टेट? नेशन स्टेट इज अ पॉलिटिको cultural unit. Simple, as simple as that. Now, while studying country, ठीक है, country resembles to a unit called continent. In geography we understand continents, and there are 7 continents largely speaking. So country is a part of continent. For example, India is part of Asian continent. Similarly, there are countries which are part of some or other continent. So because they are part of continent, and continent is a geographical conception, it basically locates on the map. There is something that we can locate on map, it is geography, right? बेसिकली व्हाट आई लोकेशन, है ना? जो लोकेशन को हम डिमार्केट करेंगे, वो मैप पे अगर डिमार्केट हो रहा है, देन इट इज़ अ जोग्राफिकल कॉन्सेप्शन। मोर ओवर जोग्राफी का मतलब क्या होता है? जोग्राफी का लार्जर मतलब होता है जो क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस हैं वो जोग्राफिकल पैटर्न्स डिसाइड करते हैं। अब हम इसको समझने की कोशिश करेंगे। एक बहुत लार्जली यूज्ड शब्द आपने सुना होगा, इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट। व्हाट इज इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट? क्या है? Indian subcontinent is a group of different countries with similar climatic conditions. And why it is Indian? Because the similar climatic conditions that this group of country possesses is identical to that of India. And what is specific about Indian climatic condition? It is monsoon. So Indian subcontinent has a uh, similar climatic condition, and that feature which defines their climatic condition is monsoon, है ना? So this monsoon d- determines the climatic conditions of a particular group of countries, and hence they are called Indian subcontinent. And because these monsoon winds are largely responsible for their uh, climatical patterns. Okay, which countries are in Indian subcontinent? You can find out and name them, because it's not a geography class that I will be giving everything here, right? So because the geography is the prime factor which is determining their climatical condition, and those climatical conditions are different to different uh, places on the map, and hence they become a separate unit. So it is largely geographical aspect of it. Okay, next, what is state? As I just said, state is a political unit. So what do you mean by political unit? Political unit meaning the nature of governance, the feature of governance is same in that particular स्पेस. ठीक है, इस स्पेस में जो नेचर ऑफ गवर्नेंस होगा, जैसे जो लॉज होंगे और जो पॉलिटिकल वोकाबुलरी होगा, वो सब सेम होंगे, है ना, वो अलग नहीं होंगे. एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट कंस्टिट्यूट्स अ पॉलिटिकल यूनिट. In a political unit, you will have identical political system. Okay, and because they have a unique political system in a particular set of space, they become a state. We will go into the features of state or characteristics of state. Let us first understand what they mean in the first instance. Then it is nation. Nation is basically a cultural unit. What is culture then? Culture here symbolizes the traditional practices that we follow since ages. We can call it knowledge of uh, wisdom, right? That we have developed over time. That practices followed in a particular specific area, if it is common, they constitute a unit, and this is largely known as nation. What is nation state? Nation state is a very modern conception wherein political system and cultural system coincide together in a space where we have same political system with similar cultural practices. They constitute nation state. Okay, so they are different but same, because if it is India, for example, if India is a state, it means it has similar political system. If India is a nation, similar cultural system. And what if India is a nation, which means it has similar cultural practices. India is a country, so because it has a similar climatic condition determined by monsoon. Okay, and if India is a nation state, and which it is, so cultural practices and political practices are common. So we need to know that these different words have different meaning, and they need to be used and in a particular setup wherever required. You cannot use them interchangeably. If you are using it while writing mains, you are making mistakes, and this gives a very bad impression about the conceptual clarity of the student. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है? तो इसको समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है, और इससे आप बेटर अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हैं चीज़ों को। अब एक इसी के साथ एक और कॉन्सेप्शन की बात हम कर लेते हैं कि जब स्टेट को हम इंट्रोड्यूस कर ही रहे हैं, सो वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि स्टेट जो है, सॉरी, जो स्टेट है वो इसके की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होते हैं, एंड देयर आर 4 important characteristics of a state. Number 1, permanent population. Number 2, effective government. Number 3, the capacity to enter into contract. This is very important. The capacity to enter into contract, which is sovereignty. Okay, so permanent population, effective government, है ना, government should be effective. Then next we have fixed, a defined territory. Territory should be defined. So when there are these 4 characteristics in a particular space on a map, it can be called as a state because they have similar political setup, right? And the important aspect of sovereignty is the capacity to enter into contract, where the uh, people have the sole authority, if the people have the sole authority to enter into contract. What is contract? When you have power to decide upon the futures and perspectives of whom to be delegated, किसको क्या पावर दिया जाए, ये अगर पावर आपके पास है या उस नेशन में जहाँ पे लोग रह रहे हैं उसके पास है, solely speaking, the decision making power, the political power to make decision in a particular space, and not just make decision, the legitimate power to make decision. Okay, so these are deeper things that we'll get to know in other short videos, but for today we can understand the difference between country, कंट्री क्या हो रहा है, क्या होता है, स्टेट क्या होता है, नेशन क्या है और नेशन स्टेट क्या है, एंड व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट फीचर्स ऑफ स्टेट। जो 4 फीचर्स हैं, परमानेंट पॉपुलेशन, इफेक्टिव गवर्नमेंट, the capacity to enter into contract, that is sovereignty, and the defined territory. Okay, so thank you for today. We'll again meet with some other concepts tomorrow. Okay, then please subscribe the channel, share and like, and please comment. Okay, thanks.